What's up, Knife Tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and you guys are going to learn something today. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. And today we're going to talk about some old school folders that are still absolute top shelf EDC knives. The new stuff, the new cool locks and pocket jewelry and knives, fidget knives like this, cool new lock, fidgety. This is the stuff that gets the attention, but this does not make all that great of an EDC knife. This makes, it's a usable tool, but this is more all about the fidget factor and the cool locking system. It's not about actual performance of a work knife or just a user knife. And that is where knives like these really shine. Here we have a real classic. This pocket shredding monster. Massive grip texture is the Cold Steel Range Boss. You can pick these up. Well, Midway had them on sale not too far back. I was posting them, showing y'all they had them for about $12 a piece. Crazy good deal. This is a hell of a knife for that kind of money. Even at its normal, $40-ish price, it's still a good knife. If you need, a lightweight, full-size, very tough and well-built folder, this right here is exactly that. You have this very, very aggressive texturing on it. This knife is not moving. I don't care how wet, how bloody your hands are from cleaning a deer or whatever the case. You are not going anywhere on this knife. Like, once it's in your hand, it's in your hand. If you don't knock this texture down, they are rough on the pockets and they'll shred your jeans like no tomorrow. But you can knock it down and slightly loosen the clip tension, and then it's in and out of the pocket easy, and you end up with a very, very good knife that's lightweight, extremely capable. Don't let this 4116 steel, throw you off. That German 4116 Krupp steel is really good stuff, especially at a low cost like this. The edge retention is actually quite good. It's very tough. It sharpens really nicely. It strops back very nicely. Touches up on a ceramic rod very nicely. I just cut myself. Yep, you see? You fuck around, you find out. Anyways, yeah. It takes a very, very exceptionally good edge. Very, very, very sharp. Very, very sharp that steel gets. Damn, that cut me good. Anyways, here is another one that not so much of a pocket monster. You have 3-inch blade. Very, very lightweight. This comes in at about 2.5 ounces. Again, 4116. And as you know, very, very sharp steel. Or a steel that takes a very, very sharp edge, I should say. It gets very, very keen, and it just takes a very nice edge. I really like this steel. In fact, it's one of my favorite budget steels. A lot of people, talk trash about it. Oh, the edge retention ain't all that great, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? it'll beat, they'll speak so highly about 14C, but they'll trash 4116. And believe it or not, this steel right here will give any 14C out there on the production market a run for its money in edge retention. Sorry about my orange fingertips. I got Gatorade powder on me and it stained me. But yeah, the verdict is a really fantastic knife. Very, very high quality, lightweight, tough as nails. Really good like hunting knife. If you're, this is a whitetail cleaning beast right here. You have the triad lock, so you know it's tough. You have these glass GFN, glass fiber reinforced nylon, whatever you want to call it, or GRN, FRN, whatever you want to call it. Fiber reinforced plastic, basically. So it's tough. And it don't weigh very much. There's minimal flex to it. And you have the triad lock. So this thing's going to really take a beating. And 4116 is actually a quite tough steel. Not only its stainlessness is good enough, its toughness is quite good. Its edge retention, in my opinion, is actually excellent for what it is. I really like it. It's one of my favorite budget steels. It doesn't get the love that steels like 14C or 12C, Nitro V. It doesn't get the love that stuff like that gets. It just doesn't get the love that a lot of your more modern steels get. Oops. Let me clean that off. That's yeah. I didn't mean to bleed on the knives. But yeah, it just doesn't get the love that steels like Nitro V and 14C, stuff like that get. But what's funny is the people that'll say, oh yeah, I wouldn't use that, it doesn't have the edge retention I need, on this steel. But they love 14C. That's one of their favorite steels, and they don't realize that this steel right here will outcut most of the 14C out there. Or at least give it a run for its money. So, that's just funny. And again, in a folder like this, that steel is plenty tough enough. Now this is a real retro classic right here. And this is the Kershaw Chill. It's a R.J. Martin design. It's an 8CR14 Movi. And it's just an awesome little lightweight EDC knife. Ain't nothing special about it, no frills. Just a good little EDC knife. Just lightweight, very slim, carries very nicely. It's on plastic washers. Yeah, I don't really care too much for that, but the action is really, really good. I've had a bunch of these things. Just an all-around awesome little knife. If you value pocket space, but you want, pretty much a full-length EDC knife blade length and a very thin and slim carry, the Chill is exactly that. If you value pocket space, this knife's really hard to beat. I love the Chill. Awesome little knife. Here we have, another one of the Kershaw greats, in my opinion, and a knife that can be had for under $100, and now they're in Magna Cup, but they used to be in 20 CV, and you can pick them up for $100, 95, $100, and that would be the Kershaw Chill, or the Kershaw Link. You have a very, very useful blade shape for EDC. Like this knife right here, this blade shape is just tailor-made as an EDC knife. It excels at so many different tasks, and it's what I love so much about the Link. It's a nice, stout, well-built knife that's tough. When it's in your hands, it feels like it can do what you need it to do. If you're asking from the knife more than you should a pocket knife, you're still going to feel like this knife can do it. It's thick, it's solid, it's well built, it's heavy. This ain't no Featherlight knife, I'll tell you that. It's a stout little dude, and you just have such an awesome blade shape. That's what makes this knife so good, in my opinion, is that blade shape. It's just tailor-made for EDC type cutting. It excels at push cuts, slicing, rocking cuts. It's just an all-around awesome EDC blade shape. It does have speed safe, so it's assisted, which I don't mind. I don't love it, but I don't mind it. And again, you can pick these up now on MagnaCut for right around $100, and the MagnaCut on these, I've tested a couple of them. They're in the 63 to 64 range. The older 20CV ones, they were run a little soft. 5960 is pretty much where they was at. This one here was, I think, like 60.3. So, a little on the soft side for 20CV, but it still performs quite well. Sharpens nicely, holds an edge reasonably. It's tough enough. Just an all-around good EDC work knife. This really is a fantastic work knife. The Kershaw Link, it don't get a lot of love anymore, but this is a hell of a knife. And now we have a real classic from Mr. Ken Onion. And it's just such a perfect, lightweight, thin, doesn't take up much pocket space type carry. And that would be the forever famous Kershaw Link. An awesome blade shape for utility type tasks. You got that nice hollow on the 14C versions, and the flat grind on the other steels will be flat grinds, but the 14C will be a hollow. Just a awesome blade shape for EDC type cutting. This really is a great knife for EDC tasks. Now, it's not going to be a knife that you're going to be out there pounding on. That's pretty thin blade stock. But as a EDC slicer, the Leek is damn good at what it does. Again, speed safe, but the action's done well. Nice and smooth on the open and close. I don't really mind the assist all that much. I wish it wasn't, but it is. And I love the design, so I put up with it. After you use it for a little while, you won't even notice it. But the Leek really is. When Ken Onion come up with the random Leek, and it won, all the awards it won, there was a reason that it won them. It's just the epitome of an EDC knife. Like, this is a perfect pocket knife design. Everything about it is perfect as a light duty EDC knife. Like, it's just there's nothing, it doesn't do anything wrong. Everything about it is perfect for a light duty knife. I love them. The Leek is really fantastic. I own a bunch of them, and yeah, I've got a couple that's been used to hell and back, and you know, I love them. I have probably the one that's seen the most pocket time would be a carbon fiber and CPM 154 one. Tremendous amount of use on it, and it's, you know, it's great. And then we have the epitome of a work knife, and that would be the Kershaw Blur. This one here is a brand new one. I've had many of these, have many of them. This one here is, I just keep a new one on backup for when it's time to replace one, because it's, you know, starting to get thick. Really great knife. One of the best work knives that you can consider touching for $100 or less. This here is the S30V model, but the normal 14C models are around $70, and at that price as a work knife, I really don't think there's anything out there that can touch it. It's comfortable in hand, it's built solid, and it is absolutely ready to work. You have that nice recurve, very light. You got just that nice little recurve section, so it's going to draw material into there so it don't slip out of cuts. You have a nice belly here. Come on, focus. You have a nice belly, and you have a nice stout tip. This is it's the epitome of a work knife. You can't really ask for more, not for the money, and not for work knife perfection. In and out the pocket is beautiful. It is not a small knife. Keep that in mind. It does take up some real estate in the pocket, but you know, it's comfortable in hand. It feels solid. It's ready to do what you ask of it. As a work knife, there's a reason that you see so many of these things where they're pretty much bare aluminum, because, you know, all the anodizing is gone, because they've been in, you know, they're in people's pockets every day, and they're hard using them to make, you know, to make their job easier. The pocket clip, yeah, it's not pretty, but it works great. I love these angled thumb studs. They work perfect for thumb or reverse. They just grab in just the right place at just the right angle. And the speed safe on this works brilliantly. Everything about the Blur screams work knife, and it's so good at what it does. It don't get a lot of love anymore. They were extremely popular, and you know, I'm sure many videos on them from years back. Nowadays they don't get a lot of glory, and it's sad, because they should. If you're looking for a work knife, I can guarantee you that you get you a Blur, and you can thank me later, because I guarantee you it will be one of, if not the best work knife you've ever used. And you can drop in Walmart and pick one up for the 14C green one for $68, and go out there and make your job easier. It really is. If I had to say, design-wise, what's one of very few work knives that are better than the Blur, I would probably say maybe the Man X2. As an all-around knife, no, I'm speaking strictly as a work knife. The Man X2 would give it a run for its money, and believe it or not, the Sodbuster. Past that, as a pure work knife, there's not many that I would say could compete with the Blur. It's just perfect for what it does. Ken Onion knew what he was doing when he designed this knife. And I mean, they're USA made. Like I said, you pick up the 14C version for like under $70. They're well built, USA made, great warranty on them. That goes the same for the Leek, but the difference is this is just a light duty EDC type knife, and it's fantastic at that job. But the Blur is a stout, ready to go work knife. That's where these two both do very, very good at what they do best. This is a light EDC knife, and this is a heavier work knife. They both excel at those two jobs. They're not one and the same. One doesn't do the job that the other does. The Leek is a work knife, not all that great, unless you're just doing lighter tasks. But if you're using it as a typical like warehouse type work knife, I wouldn't go with the Leek. You would go with the Blur. Just like if you're looking for a lightweight, smallish, lighter use EDC knife, the Blur is not that, but the Leek is. And the Link is kind of a blend of the two. So anyways, these are just 6 older knives that are not necessarily forgotten about, but they just don't get the love and attention anymore that they deserve, and I personally think they should. Any one of these 6 knives will make you a fantastic EDC knife that's very capable, very usable, will stand up to what you ask of it, and last you a very long time, and perform very good for you for many, many, many years. And all 6 of them can be had for well under $100. Some of them, hell, Midway had these for 12 something, and the Verdict for I think 14. But realistically, you can go look around at any one time, anywhere from about $30 to about $100 is where these knives run. And any one of them in that price range is going to make you a hell of a knife. You really can't, you can't get much more knife than the Link. USA made, now in Magna Cut for around $100. You can't get more knife for the money. Even in China knives, you can't get more knife for the money. But yeah, so if you don't own one, check them out. These are great knives. They just don't get the love and attention that they deserve anymore. They're not, they don't have the newest, coolest locking methods. They're not being showed by the influencers, and they're just kind of, a lot of people has never even touched one. There's a lot of people in the community that's never even seen some of these knives, but yet they really should, because these knives definitely still have a place in your pocket. Alright guys, I hope y'all learned something. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thank you for hanging out 28 or 24 and a half minutes with me, and I'll see y'all on the next one.